Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings people. I'm Nur Aina Aqilah binti Azni from DEC 5C. Will be commenting on a movie or specifically an Indonesian movie entitled Tenggelamnya Kapal Vanderwyk based on three criteria. They are verbal issues in intercultural communication, non-verbal communication, and lastly, culture, communication, and conflict. Without further ado, let's get through the video. Before we go deeper into the topic, let me give you a brief definition of verbal communication so we get to understand this better. So basically, verbal communication is the use of words and language to convey a message. However, here is the thing that I would like to pay more attention. Although verbal communication is very much about speaking skills, it is also the ability to listen and present oneself. Do know that other important aspects of verbal communication are tone of voice, confidence, and enunciation. When verbal communication takes place with people facing each other, body language also influences how the message is received. Now, let us watch this clip to get a better view on what I'm talking about.
Nak mengapa Zainuddin kemari? Apa ada amanat ayah sebelum meninggal yang harus disampaikan?
Tidak ada, Mande. Saya hanya ingin menyambung tali silaturahim. Saya ingin menyambangi kerabat ayah di negeri Batipuh ini.
Kalau begitu, lama Zainuddin tinggal di sini? Baiknya dibicarakan dulu dengan penghulu adat suku Mande. Begitulah cara kami menerima tamu di sini. Terus terang, Mande bukan orang yang...
Saya bisa sedikit membantu, Mande. Yang penting bisa tinggal di sini. Saya ingin melihat keindahan tanah kelahiran ayah. Saya juga ingin belajar agama.
Jangan salah faham, Zainuddin. Bukan maksud minta piti dah. Cuma Mande takut. Tak mampu menjamu tamu. Minumlah dulu.
Iya, Mande.
Here, we can see a young man named Zainuddin is having a conversation with a middle-aged woman that he addressed as Mande Jamila, or in English, we call as Aunt Jamila. From the beginning, we could see Zainuddin is literally showing how happy he is to arrive at his late father's state of birth. When he stated the reason he come all the way from Makassar to Batipuh is just to meet his late father's relatives there and tie a good relationship with them. But suddenly, his Mande Jamila asks him a question that is quite unpleasant to a guest who just got into a house for a couple of minutes. The woman is applying the direct communication style where she asks if he would stay at her house for a long period of time, because if he wants to, she needs to ask permission from her tribal chief to let someone who is from different tribal to overnight at their place. The way she talks to the guy seems like she is not welcoming him to her place, while the guy is actually a son to Pandrika Sultan, a local warrior who died fighting for his own homeland. She doesn't eye contact with him, and her tone sounds like she wants the guy to slowly digest the hidden message behind her tone. That's it for verbal issues in intercultural communication. Let's get into the next section, shall we? Non-verbal communication issues. Opposite to the first part that I explained just now, non-verbal communication is the alternative to the verbal communication whereby messages are conveyed silently, either written in symbols or through body language. Before I get deeper into it, let's us watch the clip first.
Mari Cik, ikut Walin. Mari, Encik. Disinilah Engku Zainuddin merenungkan nasibnya. Dan dari sini pula lah berasal sumber kemasyurannya dalam kalangan kesusastraan bangsa kita.
Kalau kamarnya begini indahnya, mengapa saya dilarang masuk?
Inilah sebabnya.
Dia masih ingat akan saya, Bang Muluk.
Ingat, dan selamanya Indah akan pernah lupa. Tapi Encik Hayat yang dicintainya kini telah hilang.
Tidak, Bang Muluk, dia masih ada. Ini dia. Dia masih ada, Bang Muluk.
Encik Hayat yang dicintainya kini Indah ada lagi. Telah mati. Semangat Zainuddin dibawanya bersama-sama ke kubur cintanya. Encik Hayat yang menumpang di rumahnya sekarang ialah sahabatnya. Istri pula dari seorang sahabatnya. Sebagai seorang yang budiman, Engku Zainuddin menghormati Encik sebagai istri orang lain. Meskipun orang itu pernah menyakitinya.
In this clip, Bang Muluk asks Hayati to follow him to get into Zainuddin's office, a place that Zainuddin forbids a person named Hayati to get into it. When she gets into it, she portrays her surprise by asking Bang Muluk the reason Zainuddin doesn't let her to enter into an extremely huge and mesmerizing room. Then, Bang Muluk pulls down a huge curtain that hides a picturesque monumental picture of Hayati with beautiful kind of batik covers her hair, like how she dressed when she first met Zainuddin at her homeland. Right below the portrait, we can see a line "Permataku yang hilang," or if we instantly translate it to English, it sounds "my missing jewel." If you see someone hangs up a portrait of a girl that he used to dearly love and would give up anything for her, even though she has married to another guy, I bet you are thinking the same way like I do. Yes, he's still in love with that girl. He still has the same feeling like he first met the girl, although the girl is the one that leaves him. But words aren't there to be said like before. The only way for Hayati to know her place in Zainuddin's heart is just by that one portrait, which non-verbally tells how much she means to him, that even she betrayed and killed him a long time ago, his pure feeling for that one young lady has never changed. Finally, the feeling Zainuddin has been trying to hide from Hayati has been known by the girl, not from his lips, but from a portrait that silently hides inside the room.
Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Alah kok kau tahu Hayati?
Apa mah datua?
Zainuddin. Zainuddin adalah aku suruh pai dari batik kuah. Kalau nyo ke menuntut ilmu juga, bak candu niatnya semula. Lebih rancak nyo ke Padang Panjang atau ke Bukit Tinggi saja. Inyo pun lah tahu.
Apa sebab mah datuk menyuruh inyo pai?
Banyak pandai tanah orang ke dirinya, jo ke diri kau.
Tapi hubungan kami suci mah datua. Ina bercampur jo baranggai na melanggai sopan santun.
Ati, ijan kau kuat keadaan kampuang kau jo kitab-kitab yang kau baca. Cinta hanyalah khayal dongeng dalam kitab saja. Kau limpapih rumah nang gadang. Zainuddin tidak bersuku. Malu gadang namanya. Manjatuhan nama. Marusak niniak mamak. Marusak korang kampung. Maruntuah rumah jo tanggo. Kampung jo ilaman. Ini kau tahu. Bunuh Marapi masih tagak kokoh menjulang. Adik masih berdiri kuat. Indak lapuk di hujan. Indak lakang dek panai.
Zainuddin anda menempuh jalanan lurus. Inyo anda mengambil hati jadi bininya.
Ma bisa ti. Kurang sarupoinyo. Indak bisa dijadian tampik menggantungan duit. Masuk kini. Kalau kau memilih lelaki. Paralu nan jaleh asa usuanyo. Jaleh mata pancariannya. Nan bisa menumpangi duit. Kalau kau nikah je Zainuddin. Nyempang kau punya anak. Kemana kau bawa kau?
Sampai hati Madatua membunuh Zainuddin. Dia membunuh hati kemanakan engkau sendiri.
Indah Ayati. Kemudian kau kesadar surang. Aku akan memuji perbuatan mama nang kau sasali hari kini.
In my opinion, this clip has enough details to explain about conflict of interest. Why? Here's my explanation. First of all, this scene involves interpersonal conflict, which the conflict occurs between individuals, which are Hayati and her uncle. The conversation begins sorrow when the uncle tells Hayati that he already asked Zainuddin to leave the state. Hayati states the fact that Zainuddin and her are currently having a pure relationship and have never ever crossed the line as what their religion taught them to act like in a relationship. Though we can see the good values inside Zainuddin, like his passion in digging more knowledge of his religion, being respect to all people around him, a soft-spoken person, skillful in writing letters and poems, Hayati's uncle seems to act blind and not seeing all of this just because he doesn't belong to the same tribe like them. Plus, Hayati is the pride of both Batipu and her family, and that will make it even worse to be with Zainuddin, since his uncle believes that Zainuddin would ruin his good name as a respected person in the tribal, their ancestry, the villagers, their own marriage in the future, and most important, their purity of their tribal. Without having a face-to-face discussion with both Zainuddin and Hayati in one place, the uncle directly puts a stop to their constructive relationship. Just because Hayati is a girl under his care, I believe that it is totally cruel to put the girl under a situation which she is not being able to stand for herself. The worst part is when Zainuddin doesn't stand a chance to at least meet the uncle and defend himself from getting bad mouthed from the entire villages. Here, we can see that because of culture, people are willing to avoid from having a constructive communication and letting conflict to occur and worsen the condition.
Tapi pakaian seperti ini pasti tidak serasi dengan diri saya, Ija. Akan jadi sorotan mata orang. Saya malu.
Kita itu berpakaian memang untuk dilihat orang. Dan jadi pusat perhatian. Itu naluri perempuan kan?
Kita mau menonton pacuan kuda, Ija. Bukan menjadi tontonan orang. Lagi pula, tujuan saya adalah untuk bertemu Zainuddin.
Dia pasti akan terkagum-kagum melihat kecantikan kau, Ati.
For those who don't know, value conflict is a type of conflict that occurs when people have different ideologies. From the clip just now, Hayati is clearly telling her friend Khadijah that she feels the dress doesn't suit her style. As we have seen from the first clip I've shared, Hayati is the pride of Batipu, who practices religious teachings in her daily life, including wearing attire according to her religious guidance. Her dressing style and thoughts about wearing cover and proper attire is found out to oppose her best friends. For Khadijah, who is practicing Western lifestyle, she believes that the purpose to dress up is nothing more to become an attraction to the public. She also believes that all women have that kind of thought in themselves. Hayati also tells the purpose she wants to go to the festival is solely because to meet Zainuddin, and that is why she doesn't want to wear that dress. She knows Zainuddin doesn't wish to see her in that uncovered attire, unlike he used to see before. However, couldn't resist her friend's request. She is forced to wear the dress to the festival. I think that's all for my commentary video. Thank you for your support and see you later.